First match after UEFA announced that we will be banned for 2 seasons from the Champions League and the Europa League. Basically all UEFA competitions, and who knows, maybe Club World Cup, and who knows, maybe points deducted, who knows, maybe titles and cup wins stripped. Who knows? Right now, who knows? There's a lot of speculation going around surrounding what will happen to Manchester City. 30 million euro fine, 2-year ban from UEFA. And if the Court of Arbitration of Sport upholds this decision, then we are basically fucked, right? So, first game after the winter break. Mid-season winter break. First game after the announcement. It would have been a challenge for the players to come in after all of that controversy, after the break, and respond. And what the players did, they responded. And I'm happy that they did. Because, oh my God, God knows what people would have been saying if we had lost or dropped points against West Ham United. It's already not the greatest of season in context to what Liverpool are doing. Like, they're on top of the table, 76 points. We are second, 54 points. That's 22 points behind the league leaders. And they're basically doing what we did in 2017-18 and 2018-19, even though they were just behind us in 2018-19. But they have really upped the ante, right? And we have regressed somewhat. This is basically Pep Guardiola's worst ever season in his career. Or at least it's the worst start to any season he has been the manager at the 3 clubs he has managed: Barcelona, Bayern Munich, and now Manchester City. The players needed to respond. They did. The fans need to rally. A lot of you guys are going to say that they didn't turn out. The stadium was very scanty. But it's a midweek fixture on a Champions League night. And I wasn't expecting a big turnout. But when you really think about it, everyone should have showed up. Everyone should have showed up. That stadium should have been packed. When you really think about it. But then again, you could understand it's midweek. People got lives. People got kids to go to school and they have jobs to go to. It's the middle of the week. It's a postponed game. So that's why. That explains it. But maybe it should have been full, right? Maybe they should have came out and in their numbers. Maybe they should have. But we needed a big game here, and we got a big game. It was an emotional time. Or I should say, it's an emotional time for City, the players, and the fans. But the CEO, Soriano, has given us some positive reassurance that we're going to overcome this. Even Puma came out and gave a statement and said that if City was this shady club that everyone is making us, that they would not have got involved. They looked at the books, everything was how it's supposed to be. But let's not talk too much about that anymore. Let's talk about the match. First match since the ban. We needed a big game and we got a big game. 2-0 win. It should have been a 5-0 thumping. West Ham should have got hammered. They should have got hammered in this match. They should have got hammered. And they're currently in the relegation zone right now under new manager David Moyes. And they're in a bit of a crisis. You think we're in a crisis? West Ham are in a crisis right now. As for lineups, Pep Guardiola chose to go with Edison, who basically didn't have much to do in this game. Laporte came back alongside Benjamin Mendy with his new blonde hairstyle, and he looked okay in this game, to be fair. Nicolas Otamendi was the other centre-back with Laporte, and Kyle Walker, as usual, at right back, ahead of João Cancelo, who hasn't really been involved that much this season. But I do think Pep Guardiola is just integrating João Cancelo in the squad, and we'll see a lot more of him next season, and we'll see much more involvement from the Portuguese right back, or we could say full back, because he could play left or right. So that completed the defense. Edison, Laporte, Kyle Walker, Otamendi, and Benjamin Mendy, who did a great job. Who did a great job keeping West Ham quiet, even though they did not have a lot of chances. But the defense did well. The defense did well, and they deserve the credit when credit is due. Rodri, who scored the opening goal from a Kevin De Bruyne corner, had another solid game, and the Spaniard has been somewhat flying under the radar. A lot of people are talking about Fabinho and this and that, and saying that they have the best DM in the league, but they haven't been paying attention to what Rodri is doing for Manchester City. But fair is fair, you know, they're on top of the league, and they're going to say all their players are the best, right? Like, come on. Like, but Rodri had a big game. That was a good goal. Towering high above the West Ham defenders at the near post and headed in at the far post. So we needed that goal. We needed that goal to just calm the nerves. And we should have got that goal earlier if Gabriel Jesus had took those two chances he had. But we'll get to Gabriel Jesus pretty soon. Kevin De Bruyne, who picked up an assist and a goal in this game, was pardoned by David Silva in the middle of the field, who had a very, very solid outing as well in his final season as a Manchester City player. Pep Guardiola chose to go with Gabriel Jesus over in the left wing position for the injured Raheem Sterling. And Gabriel Jesus has to be one of the biggest disappointments in this match. Like, he had numerous opportunities to score and failed to do it. I don't know if he has some kind of psychological problem right now, or if something is bothering him. But come on, Gabriel Jesus, just hit the ball when you have a chance to hit the ball and stop taking extra touches in the box. Like, come on, you could have cost us the game here. When you have an opportunity, hit the ball, hit the target. He's trying to take an extra touch and trying to be fancy, going around the keeper. Got the ball snatched away from him twice. So that was a bit frustrating. And I know City fans feel the same way. Sergio Aguero was the striker, but he did not have a lot of opportunities in this game. And Bernardo Silva at right wing, who was involved in the second goal scored by Kevin De Bruyne. But all in all, it was a solid team performance. And I know Pep Guardiola will feel proud of his boys. Pep Guardiola came out in his post-match interview and said that even if the club is relegated, he will still be the manager next season. So that is some good news. That's some good news right there. I made a video talking about whether Pep Guardiola will leave Manchester City, and I did say he will leave. I do believe he will see out his contract, but he will leave at the end of his contract. That's what I think. I think he will leave at the end of his contract and go on to maybe a Juventus, who knows, AC Milan, PSG, back to Barcelona. Who knows where Pep Guardiola will go next. But I do believe he will see out his contract and then he will move on. But eventually, he will move on. He won't stay at... I don't think he would stay at City as long as Jurgen Klopp plans to stay at Liverpool. Like, he has a contract until 2024. I don't think Pep Guardiola is going to renew his contract. That's just what I think. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. But that was a very solid performance by Manchester City. Gundogan, Phil Foden, and John Stones were the three substitutes used in this match. Laporte came off a bit early because he's just, still recovering from injury. Kevin De Bruyne got a well-needed rest. 16 assists so far in the season for him. He needs 4 more to equal that Thierry Henry record, and he also has 8 goals to go with that. So a big round of applause to Kevin De Bruyne, man. He has been magnificent, and a lot of people are saying that Kevin De Bruyne could be PFA Player of the Season despite Jordan Henderson, Sadio Mane, Trent Alexander-Arnold, and other Liverpool players having such a great season. So basically, Kevin De Bruyne is a dark horse candidate right now in terms of the PFA Player of the Season. And I forgot to mention Virgil van Dijk or even Alisson Becker. But it'll be hard. It'll be really hard for him to top any of these Liverpool players with us being so far behind. Unless we close the gap, it's like something dramatic happens and we close the gap to maybe like 10 and we come in second, 10 points behind Liverpool this season. It's going to be difficult for Kevin De Bruyne to win this award. But the fact that players are the ones voting for this, we can definitely see something like that happen. Maybe like a consolation prize to Manchester City or one of Manchester City's players. As for West Ham, man, they've been struggling. They've been struggling a lot. Struggled under Pellegrini and now still struggling under David Moyes. And I said when Moyes came in, that was kind of a backward step by West Ham. I talked to a West Ham fan who is from St. Vincent and the Grenadines like myself. I talk to him almost every morning going to work. And it's not for long because I see him at a bus stop and then my stop is like 2 minutes away. If it's even 2 minutes, maybe like 1 minute. So we chat for maybe a minute or two every day. And he's saying basically he was just hoping for an upset of some sort. But you could see the frustration on his face, and you could see that, the position that his team is in, it's really affecting him. It's affecting him. But he loves football in general, and I think he would rally with his team even if they get relegated. We just have to wait and see if they do get relegated. They're still in for a fight, and they have some quality players that they could muster up some good results and pull off a great escape. But David Moyes chose to go in with Lucas Fabianski, who came back from injury. And I think that his injury has really affected West Ham this season. His injury woes. That keeper Roberto, he was a disaster. They have already shipped him out. They brought in Darren Randolph as cover, and he is now relegated to number 2 with Lucas Fabianski fit again. In defense, they chose to go in with 3 at the back with Cresswell, Ogbonna, and Issa Diop. And on the wings, Masuaku and Ryan Fredericks, who had to go off with a dislocated shoulder. And he was replaced by Pablo Zabaleta, the former Manchester City legend. And this would be his last time playing at the Etihad, because we don't know what he's going to do after he leaves West Ham. If he's going to retire or go back to Argentina. It was nice to see him come on. And he did put on a very, very good performance within the time he was on the field. Declan Rice, who had a very, very solid game. He was West Ham's best player. He kept pulling off these really, really exquisite passes, but no one could really do anything and pull off an end product for West Ham United. Mark Noble, the captain, along with Thomas Susek, was in the middle. Up top, Robert Snodgrass with Mikel Antonio. These guys had pretty much nothing to do. Hardly anything. There was a few times Mikel Antonio had a shot, like an opportunity, like a window to shoot, and he did, but it was basically speculative. Went over. West Ham struggled. West Ham struggled in this game to develop any type of rhythm. City dominated possession, and they were just on top of West Ham for the entirety of the game. West Ham was just pinned in for most of the game. I'm going to tell you the stats in this match right now. I've been going off the top of my head all this time. So as for stats in this game, Man City had 20 shots at goal, 7 on target, 78% of the possession 896 passes with a 91% pass accuracy. Remember, Liverpool had a game early on this season where they completed, I think, the most passes ever. Like, this was up there with that. They committed 5 fouls, 1 offside, 6 corners. No cards were shown to a Manchester City player in this game. It was a pretty disciplined outing by both teams in terms of fouls. West Ham, 3 shots at goal, none on target, 22% possession, 254 passes with a 70% pass accuracy, 7 fouls committed, 1 yellow card shown, 3 offsides, 1 corner. West Ham, they were basically hammered in this game. And as I said from the get-go, we should have won this game 4 or 5 goals to nil. Positives from this, we kept a clean sheet. Laporte came back, Mendy came back, and we picked up a win after this whole UEFA ban thing that we're dealing with right now. City are now second after 26 matches with 54 points, 4 points ahead of Leicester City and 13 points ahead of 4th place Chelsea. Right now, West Ham are currently 18th, 24 points. They're 1 point behind 17th place Aston Villa, 2 points behind Bournemouth, 3 points behind Brighton. So with a good string of results, West Ham could be out the relegation zone pretty soon. They need 3 to 4 good results on the trot in order to, basically salvage their season. They play Liverpool next on Monday, and that's not a good opponent to face while you're going through all this. Then they play Arsenal. Then they play Wolves. Then they play Tottenham. Then they play Newcastle. It's going to be really tough. It's going to be really tough for West Ham to survive. It's going to be tough for West Ham to survive. It's really tough for West Ham to survive. For our next 2 games, we play Leicester City in the league, and then we play Real Madrid at the Santiago Bernabeu. So those are 2 big matches. 2 big matches, and we have to keep responding. We have to keep playing top football. We got to beat Leicester, and we have to beat Real Madrid. I wasn't so confident playing Real Madrid, but after this whole ban thing, this team, they're gonna, and we're gonna do something special. Both English teams lost their Champions League first leg, round of 16 matches. Liverpool lost 1-0 to Atletico Madrid, and Spurs lost 1-0 to Red Bull Leipzig, or RB Leipzig. So we have to respond. We have to respond. We have to respond to the ban. We have to respond to the English teams are losing. We can't lose too. Chelsea, who knows, will most likely lose to Bayern Munich too. That's a big match they have there. So we have to be the standout team in the Champions League. We got to respond. We have to win it. We got to win it. The players, Pep Guardiola, they got to win it. They got to win it. They got to shut these opposition fans up. They got to shut the haters up. We have to win it. We got to win it. But guys, let me know if you like my 1999 Man City retro jersey from the Wembley 3rd Division playoff fixture between City and Gillingham. Let me know what you think about this. I just did an unboxing video for it. So please do go check it out. I am actually late reviewing this match. Yesterday after the game, I was so tired from work and just from everything, making videos, work, and handling business, family stuff. And I said, you know what, I'm asleep, and this is me doing my review. So thanks to everyone who tuned in to watch this video. If you're new, consider hopping on, subscribe. I'm a true City fan, and you can see that from my dedication, of course. And guys, don't forget to hit the thumbs up button. Visit cardsplug.com/Dominic Rich FC to get yourself one of these lovely cards with a Man City logo on it. All the links will be in the description box down below. Use the coupon code Dominic Rich FC to get yourself 20% off. So, guys, from your boy Dominic Rich, until our next game, or until my next video, I like to say thanks for watching. Peace out. Rich, score harder.